Hello everyone, Sebastian here wishing a happy May the 4th to all the Warsies watching this. Today I'm going to address a topic that I've never addressed in any kind of internet media before. I like the Star Wars prequels. That may actually be an understatement. I love them. I love them as much as the originals. And okay, let's back up a bit here. Before you guys start shunning me, I, like everyone else, admit that the prequels were weaker than the originals. Except, in my opinion, not all of them were. If I had to rate the Star Wars movies by how much I generally like them, I would say Empire is out there at number 1. It's not only the best one in the saga, but one of the best sci-fi movies of all time, period. Second in my rating is the original, the one that started the revolution, A New Hope, or just Star Wars for the purists. And here's where my rating gets strange. I like Revenge of the Sith more than I like Return of the Jedi. Of course, episodes 1 and 2 were weak, but I still think episode 3 is a better movie than 6. Now, to be fair, that may have a lot to do with my own childhood bias. The first time I ever went to a movie theater, I saw The Phantom Menace. I was blown away. Yes, you heard right, Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, is the reason I even became a filmmaker in the first place. I watched the next 2 episodes at the movie theater too, and I was blown away every single time. Of course, having grown up and almost 10 years after the first time I saw Revenge of the Sith, I now see the stupid dialogue from clones,
I don't like sand,
the convoluted storyline from Menace, and Jar Jar. Oh, Jar Jar, when will you ever learn? But at least to me, Episode 3 still holds up. It works as a third installment, and as the link tying up all loose ends in the saga. It has a dark mood, a compelling storyline, and to see Anakin finally turn into the badass that we know and love is pretty cool. I think there's enough good things in it to make this a good Star Wars movie. Most of Anakin's on-screen time works really well, and Hayden Christensen actually delivers a very intimidating performance. In scenes like this one, you can feel the river of emotions this guy must be going through, and how heavy they must be for him. Also, Palpatine is so much fun to look at. You can just tell Ian McDiarmid is having the time of his life with this role. And the whole sequence involving Order 66 and the way it cuts between the Jedi being betrayed, Anakin taking action at the Jedi Temple, and Padme's concern as she watches it burn works really well. In my opinion, it's things like this that give this movie a heart. They give it emotion. Of course, it still has its silly moments, like the hideous "No!" Darth Vader cries out when he finds out about Padme's fate, or the romantic things Anakin tells to his wife. Or, who can forget, right in the middle of the Mustafar lightsaber fight, when the two heroes stop for a second to twirl their fucking lightsabers. It's like they knew there was a camera there and they were engaging their badass mode or something. But people forget that the originals had their share of silly moments too. Between Leia's kind of British accent and everything this side of Max Rebo, to me the worst offender is Jedi. Ewoks are admittedly adorable, but really silly. And they're fucking everywhere! It feels like they were supposed to be comedic relief, but then they were written down as big important plot devices at the last minute. Hey, that sounds familiar. But moving on, I would like this movie more than Sith if it wasn't for Jedi's total lack of heart, in my opinion. Sure, there's the emotional scene when Darth Vader dies, but it lasts for like a second, and Mark Hamill's performance in it actually makes me doubt if he even gives a shit about it. In Sith, I can feel Padme's concern over Anakin's choices, Anakin's own regret and anger as he's going down a path he can't escape from, and Obi-Wan's anguish when seeing a friend suffer the consequences of his choices. Others may disagree, but to me the most important part of a movie is emotion. Even the silliest of concepts can be believed if you identify enough with the characters. And that's why, to me, Episode 3 is a better movie than 6. And even though I admit 1 or 2 are convoluted, unimaginative, and overall weak when compared to the originals, they still hold a special place in my heart. They're the ones that introduced me to the saga that defined my life. There's not one room in my apartment where you won't find a piece of Star Wars memorabilia. Here's to one of the biggest universes ever created, and let's all have our fingers crossed for Episode 7 this Christmas. Have a great one, and may the 4th be with you.